Cheers, everybody. Welcome to a beer review. What else would it be? Now, the beer we're talking about now is, well, it's advertised as a new beer, but this beer I think has been going for a fair bit at the brewery on tap. And we're off to Theakston. Now, Theakston have released the first bottled IPA for a very, very long time. And we've got a bottle of Peculiar IPA, clocking at 5.1% ABV. Now, this was picked up at the brewery. This is also they advertised it as available in Morrison's, but it never got to Morrison's, as far as I know. Now it's available by the shed load in M&S. So Peculiar IPA, an ode to obviously their famous beer, flagship beer if you want to call it, Old Peculiar, which for me is one of my favourite all-time beers, because it was one of the first dark beers I ever tried, and it's reviewed. I reviewed it way back on this channel, and I did a comparison between Old Peculiar and Black Sheep's Rig Welter, which I love as well. That was an interesting video a few years back. And so, yeah, this beer, the first bottled IPA for, I can't remember how many years now. I should know. Right, Peculiar IPA is a new bottled beer brewed using 100% finest British ingredients, boasting peculiar blend of the 3 UK grown hops. So we've got Harlequin, Jester, and Olicana, mixed with the magic of the Theakston brewing team to deliver a fruit-packed flavour with a dry, bitter undertone, an instant classic worthy of the Peculiar name. There you go. Here's the backside. Without further ado, let's crack it open and see what it's all about. Favourite is Old Peculiar, of course. There's another great beer from Theakston called Theakston XB. Fantastic beer. Check that out. Let's hope this beer lives up to them too, in terms of quality and taste of its style. Not much from the neck. I'll be honest, there's not much there. There's a slight malty characteristic, but no fruity notes as such. Now this, I've got to apologise for the state of that, okay? Apologise, I should use a clean glass, but never mind. So let's pour it out and see what it's all about. Let's get it in. Nice, clear looking beer, golden colour. Stick that there. It's gold, always be. I've got to keep doing that. It's going to get on people's nerves, so I apologise for belting out Spandau Ballet. I'm no Martin Kemp. Who's that singer? I can't remember them. Or Tony Hadley, am I? I know I'm better looking than Tony Hadley. There's a medium flow of carbonation going up the thinning head. Let's get a whiff. Again, there's a slight toffee butterscotch note there, but it's very faint. Not a lot going on. So, let's go in. Cheers, everybody. Going again. It's got that taste. That old peculiar cakey taste. It's there. It's in abundance. What I was expecting was what we get with a lot of IPAs, the fruity notes, the lemons, all that stuff. And of course, that is true. IPAs do taste like that. But this type of IPA is an old school IPA. This, I envisage this being like this all them years ago when they're sending it off to India. A hopped up beer to survive the journey. This what I think this beer would be like. It's old school. It's got the body of the beer is layered with cakey, malty, raisins, currants. It's got that character what I do pick up in the old Peculier, hence the name. We get a slight lemonness, bitterness to this. Hints of butterscotch. But it just feels very, very old school. Now, do I like it? I mean, this beer I think is going to divide opinion with a lot of people. It's a beer which will polarize drinking generations. And the reason why I say that is because it feels an old school cask ale. Now, when it was on the tap at the restaurant bar, it had a very modern looking tap, which would be deceiving to some. It's not brewed for the modern age. This is an old school IPA. An IPA which, let's face it, I think some people, if they're into their craft beer, would rip to shreds because it's different. It's old school. It's a hopped up ale, not your craft bright coloured can IPA. So I think it's going to divide opinion. Do I like it? Well, I appreciate what they're trying to achieve here. I appreciate where they're coming from. You know, an old brewery doing an old traditional ale with British ingredients. Why not? Fantastic idea. The beer for me, I wouldn't buy in the bottle again. The beer for me on cask, I think will be better. This beer is just left field. It's a little bit left field. It's not what some people will be used to, and I think where sales are concerned, it may struggle. It may struggle because it doesn't feel modern enough. In a way, I hate saying stuff like this because Theakstons are fantastic. You know, they are a proper old school brewery, and I think they're still an old school brewery. But when you bring out a new beer, the climate has changed. You know, let's face it, we've got craft breweries dotted around all over the country. You know, one of them is, you know, look at Putty, for example. And you got an old school brewery which is producing the goods with their traditional ales, but when they bring out a new one, stays in the traditional category. It's got that word IPA on. I'm not sure it's gonna hit. I'm not sure it's gonna, you know, be a hit with some people. So I wouldn't buy it again in the bottle, but I will have it on cask. I have to sort out some time. Maybe do a video when I'm down there and have it on cask and see, you know, if it is better. But I mean, this is very cakey for me, very toffee like. It's like spiceness to this, currants, raisin spiceness, cake mix. It's not my kind of cup of tea, to be honest. So, from that retrospect, it just feels very old school. Boys and girls, let's call it Old Peculiar IPA. Not sure on that one. I think people, you either love it or hate it. It's a Marmite beer. See you on my next one. Bib bib.